Hey guys, it's Beauty Queen and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're doing a Q&A. If you can see this little guy playing in the background, he is going crazy this morning and my washing machine is about to end. So that background noise won't be on for much longer. I've been asking you guys to send me in questions for a couple of weeks now. If you didn't know, I always ask in my videos, typically at the end, for questions to be submitted in the comments. I also ask on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook page. All my social media links are in the description below if you want to keep up to date with me outside of videos. But I got a lot of questions, a lot more than I normally get, I will admit. I normally get like maybe 3 or 4 and then I'm having to find different questions off like get to know me things, but I didn't have to do it this time, which is insane. It just shows how much I've grown since my last Q&A. I wrote them all down on my piece of paper just so that I wasn't on my phone, because then I see notifications and I start looking and it's very unprofessional. But yes, let's get started with the questions. I do have a pen just so I can cross off the ones that I've done so I don't forget. So the first question is, how do you like to relax? I like to relax by gaming. Gaming is my relaxing time. It's the only time I really get to relax, other than like showers where I'll listen to music. But even when I'm gaming, I'll normally have like a podcast or music on in the background while I'm gaming. At the moment I'm playing 2 different Assassin's Creed games. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So at the moment they're what I've been relaxing with. Next question, do you chug massive amount of piss? If you mean the bodily fluid that comes out of a person, no, that is disgusting. If you mean piss as in alcohol, no. Either way, it's a no. Okay. Did you ever have a job or at least worked on something before, like a project? I did actually have jobs before I became a writer. I started writing in 2015, so when I first started writing, it was for fun, but I have been a volunteer at a eco-friendly shop in my old town I lived in, and I was also a calf rearer for a while. And I was obviously writing and doing YouTube, but my main job was being a calf rearer through calving. So yes, I have had a real job before. What music do you like? I like a bit of everything. I listen to a lot of rock music, so like AC/DC, Falling in Reverse, all that kind of stuff. A lot of alternative style music, I should say. I listen to a little bit of country, a little bit of pop, a little bit of rap. I think the only genres I don't listen to is opera and jazz. I don't know why, I've just never been able to get into it. My grandma loves opera and it used to always be around me, and I just could not stand the music. And jazz, I don't know what it is, the sound personally makes my eardrums feel tingly and I just can't stand it. So it's just not good for me. So I just don't listen to that kind of stuff. When did you start writing blogs? I started writing my main blog in, I want to say 2017 or 2018. I think it was like the end of 2017, beginning of 2018 I started writing. It was 2019, I'm pretty sure, that I expanded out and made my other 2 blogs, and then recently I just rebranded my main blog, removing all the old content that didn't really matter. But I didn't take blogging seriously until last year. Last year was when I really started taking blogging seriously. Another one about my blogs is, have you shown your blogs to your friends? So outside of advertising my blog posts, no. I advertise my blog post on my writing Facebook page as well as my Twitter. But I don't send my blog links out to my friends, nor do I really send out my YouTube link to my friends. I will occasionally send invites to my Facebook pages for my YouTube and my writing, and that's the extent of doing that, because I don't have a lot of friends and I like it that way, but not only that, I don't feel the need to push it on them when I do this just for fun. Have you ever been to a different country? I have, because I wasn't actually born in New Zealand. I was born in Australia. I came over to New Zealand when I was 7, I think. Yeah, I was 7 because I was turning 8 that year. So I've been in New Zealand now 10 years. So yes, I have been to another country. What are your most embarrassing symptoms so far? Okay, this is disgusting, but as you guys know, I just got over a cold. Maybe a couple of weeks ago that I got over it, but it only really just like finished up the other day. But I was really sick a few weeks ago from it, and it was horrible. But what happened was, in the mornings my cough was really bad because I was really congested and I had phlegm trying to come out of my lungs, and obviously I was coughing, and in the morning it was the worst time. My partner went to the toilet before me. Now I normally go before him because when I wake up I'm busting to go to the toilet because baby is sitting on my bladder and likes to kick my bladder all through the day. So I'm always busting. Well, I was sitting on the couch and I went into a coughing fit, and baby decided to kick me right as I was coughing, and I pissed myself a little bit. And I remember sitting here like, oh my god, I'm never letting him go to the toilet before me again. So that's probably my most embarrassing symptom yet, was I was not able to hold my bladder for 3 minutes when my partner went to the toilet. All because baby kicked me. And since then, every time I haven't gone for a while, like if we're doing shopping or whatever, and baby kicks me on my bladder, I never know if I'm going to piss myself. I do I can't speak this morning. I do like strengthening exercises for my like pelvic floor and everything. They're just not helping at the moment, so that's something I'm looking forward to as it gets later on and I can't hold my bladder. What sports do or did you play if you have played sports? I was on the swimming team. Well, I went to not swimming team. I was in 2 different swimming clubs growing up, one in Australia and one in New Zealand. And that's the only real team sport I've played like outside of... Did you just go toilet and then come into here? No, you didn't. Anyway, sorry, Dimitri's just wet for some reason. But, I did want to do kickboxing in a, like, sports team sort of thing, because I love kickboxing, but I never signed up for kickboxing, so I just did it for fun at home. But yeah, swimming is probably the only one I was in, like, a club for. Okay. How does it feel to have a good pregnancy this time as you've had a miscarriage in the past? So just because I've had a miscarriage in the past, this pregnancy hasn't been a good pregnancy. I hate being pregnant. I found out I just hate being pregnant. The thing that my daughter is going to come out of me, and I'm going to be so glad that I was pregnant, and I love her to bits. But I hate being pregnant. But I don't really think that my previous pregnancy, the one I miscarried, wasn't good up until I miscarried, if that makes sense. You know, both had different issues, just the one that, like the twins, I miscarried, and that was the biggest issue because I lost them. But I'm very grateful that she's stuck on this long. I'm still pregnant, and in the back of my mind, I'm always worrying what's going to happen. You know, we've hit 24 weeks. As you've seen, I'm past 24 weeks, but 24 weeks is viability week, which basically means that if early labour was to happen, and obviously baby wasn't distressed enough, everything was going okay, you can deliver a healthy baby. And with a NICU stay for a few months, like a long time for a NICU stay, your child has a chance of surviving. So since hitting the 24-week mark, it's definitely been easier on me. I definitely think in saying that having miscarried in the past, it's made me more aware of everything going on with my body. Right at the start, you know, from when I first found out all the way until I think like 14 weeks, every time I went toilet, you know, I was always checking to make sure I wasn't bleeding. Every time anything felt wrong, I was stressing myself out, and stress is not good for being pregnant. And even now, you know, there's still a chance of stillborn or whatever, and I don't think until she's here I'm not going to be able to stress because of everything. But I'm definitely feeling blessed to be pregnant and have had a so far healthy baby, and everything still looks good, and baby's still doing fine, and being able to experience like the kicks and everything this time around has definitely been an amazing experience. Right, when did you join YouTube? I don't remember. I actually am going to have to pick up my phone for this because I don't remember. When did I start YouTube? Hold up. I can't even see the question out there. I think I deleted my old channel, but we'll have a look. Yeah, I deleted my old channel. I'm gonna have to go through my records and quickly have a look. So I started Beauty Queen, so this channel, on the 24th of March 2016, and I'm pretty sure my first channel, which I deleted now, I started in 2013 because I was filming on there for 3 years and decided to rebrand when I wanted to take YouTube more seriously, which is when I rebranded and made Beauty Queen's channel. And so yeah, since 2013 I've been on YouTube filming for you guys. I don't know when my account was first started because there was a long time before when I started filming that I was watching YouTube videos, but I remember my first video, I do remember this, my first video was uploaded in November, so November 2013 we'll say is when I made my YouTube. Okay, how do you make your hair look so good? So I don't think my hair looks good, but thank you. I'm glad you think my hair looks good. I don't do a lot with my hair. I plait it at night and then I throw it in a bun through the day since being pregnant, and I wash it every like 3 weeks because I have no motivation to stand in the shower for a long period of time to wash my hair. So a lot of the time you will see my hair and it is grease. I did just wash it. I use very natural shampoo and conditioner in my hair that's got it's got a straightening, like keratin oil I think it's called. I used one of those sort of ones. I also use I have a like hair mask that I use because I do, before pregnancy I was dyeing my hair a lot. Since being pregnant I've dyed it once so far, and I am going to do it a second time just before I hit the 3rd trimester. So, because end of May I have maternity photos, so I'm going to do it close to the end of the 2nd trimester, which is the end of this month, dye my hair so that by May I have quite nice hair for my maternity photos. But I don't really do much. I'll brush it every 2nd day just because I always forget. I don't really do anything, I just let it do it what it wants basically. I don't really do much with it. I will sometimes straighten it, but my hair care routine's definitely gone downhill since being pregnant, I'll tell you guys that. Okay, have you ever broken a bone or gotten a severe injury? I have broken this arm twice. The first time was when I was living in Australia and I broke up in here, falling out of a tree. And then in 2015, I broke in here. This was my worst one. This one I was out of a cast in like, I don't remember, I was so young. But I think I was out of it within a month. This was, I think, 6 months in a cast and then a brace on top of it, and I still have issues because it's not fully healed, but they couldn't do much about it. I went, I think, like a week or so with this being broken, not knowing, because my mum kept telling me to toughen up, and I kept saying, no, there's something wrong. You know what parents do, and then they always feel real bad that it's actually broken. We went to the hospital that night for x-rays and everything, showing that it was broken. So they put me in a cast, but they cast me like that instead of like that. So I had to, in 2 weeks' time, go back, and because it was like this, my bone was sitting in the wrong direction, like the wrong thing that's meant to be. So they had to fix it. So I've had issues ever since. So that's my most severe break is there. So yes, I've broken 2 bones. I'm very accident prone though. So I've had a lot of injuries. I was on crutches at one stage because of how badly I did my leg, but I didn't break it. I also have knee issues. Both my kneecaps dislocate, and basically just, I don't really know if it's dislocated. It's every doctor says a different thing, but I go through physio for it all the time because I'm always getting it hurt. I swear my ACC records is just knee. But I do have home exercises to strengthen it, which has been helping a lot more. I got all the equipment that I needed, but both of, basically, I guess it's my kneecap, comes out of the joint and moves all around, and it's been like, it can go all the way down in here, all the way over to the sides, and it's quite painful, and it will randomly just pop out still. And I'll move and I'll go, ow, because it's popped out and I'm trying walking. So I've always had issues with my knees, but I got that from my dad. And so yeah, I'm very accident prone. I've had my ribs come out of place before. That was fun. Yeah, I've just always been accident prone, so I've had a lot of injuries. I think I could list off a lot, but I would be here all day. So I think this is the last question. I'm seeing all the others have been crossed off. So this is, what were your favourite memories growing up? So I'm going to say this now, for those who are new. I don't remember a lot of my past. I don't think I've actually really talked about that at all, to be honest. But I don't actually remember a lot of my past. My mind has blocked out a lot of my childhood and everything, so I don't, that's my pen. I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood growing up. I don't even remember much of, I kind of remember last year, but anything before 2013, I don't really remember. And then a lot of 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 I do not remember. or 19. I do remember last year with lockdown, and I remember this year. But my brain has blocked out all of, well, 99% of Australia, what happened in Australia. So most of my childhood I don't remember. But what I do remember, I think one of my favourite memories that I can remember would be... Okay, so I have a stepdad. Well, I don't. My mum and him never married or anything, but they were dating. And to me, he's my stepdad. And he loved his cars and his bikes and all that kind of stuff. So I grew up around like lots of cars and bikes and everything, and it's made me a car girl. I love cars and all things to do with cars, but my mum's also a car girl, so I got it from both sides. But I remember being, I don't remember how old I was, but he got a new motorbike, and I hopped on the front of it in front of him, and we went for a ride around the paddock, because we lived up on a hill, and there was like a house down here, and then we lived up on the hill, and we had like a paddock we could drive in. And I remember driving in that, and it was down from my grandma's house. My grandma and granddad lived just up the road a little bit. I don't even remember how long it took. For me, I feel like it took 5 minutes, but it could have been half an hour drive. I don't know. But I remember that. That was one of my favourite memories. I don't really remember being on a motorcycle before that, and I remember just the thrill of it. My favourite memory though was I was sick, so I'd stayed home and my mum went shopping, and me and my stepdad, like, I hopped in the bed, my mum and my stepdad's bed, and just so like my stepdad could watch me and look after me and make sure I wasn't running around the house being stupid when I'm sick. But it was a very large house, and he used to chase me around the house anyway. But we curled up in bed and we're watching TV, and I remember my mum never wanted me watching things like South Park or Family Guy or anything like that. I think The Simpsons was the most I could watch because of my age. I was really young. And she came home and opened the bedroom door, and I remember her telling my stepdad off because I was watching South Park, and I remember turning around and just laughing at her. And a memory not to do with my stepdad, because yeah, I'm just trying to think of any memories. Well, my mum says this isn't how it went, but I don't know. But I do remember my mum used to work on a sheep and beef farm in Australia, and we had apparently there was a sick lamb on the farm, and she brought it home because it was just going to die. It had to be bottle fed and everything, and it was really sick, and it wouldn't feed or anything. And I was told not to go into the lounge room because she was obviously trying, it was very skittish, it didn't like people. And I was sitting there, and I was told not to go in there. I'm trying to get the lamb to feed, but the lamb's not feeding. And my mum was stressing out because she had the fire going and the lamb just would not drink the bottle. So my memory, I don't know, this is what my mum's told me what has happened, but in my memory, apparently this was like a week later, but in my memory I was in the bath and my mum had left the lounge room door open and the bathroom door was open because she had to keep coming in and checking on me to make sure I wasn't drowning. But in my memory, the lamb had escaped from the lounge room and come into the bathroom and sat down. And I had music on too. I remember there was music playing in the background. And I was singing to the music, and the lamb came in and just sat down. I remember that, but apparently that was a week later. Apparently what had actually happened was, from my mum, was that I had opened the lounge room door after she told me not to go in there, because if you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it. And I was very much like that as a little kid. I'm not so much now, but back then I was very much, you told me not to do it, I'm gonna do it sort of thing. So apparently I'd gone in there, and I had sat down by the fireplace and taken the bottle off the side bit, and I just stuck it out in front of me because I had always seen mum feeding lambs, and the lamb had come up to me and started drinking, and my mum walked into the lounge room and the lamb was drinking from me. And this was like 2 days in or something of the lamb not drinking, and the lamb scoffed the bottle. And my mum tried after that and still couldn't get it to feed. It would only drink the bottle for me. And I remember as it got older, like she had triplets. Her first lot of lambs, I'm pretty sure it was either twins or triplets, and I think the next year was either twins or triplets. Or vice versa. So like, if it was triplets the first time, then it was twins the second time. Whatever it was, she always had multiple babies. But growing up, like, she wouldn't let anyone near her. And if you'd go into the paddock or anything, she wouldn't let anyone near her unless I was there. So I remember she was having birthing complications with the first pregnancy. Like not all, but a lot of sheep do have a lot of issues with their first pregnancies with birthing, especially if it's multiples. And my mum needed to help, but she wouldn't let my mum near her. So I had to go out there and sit by her head and be like patting her head to keep her calm so she could see me, so my mum could help her have her babies. And it was always a running joke throughout my whole life since like that day in that I got her to feed, that I'm an alien because she wouldn't let any humans near her except me, so I must be an alien because I can't be human. And that's just one of my favourite memories is her, and that really got me into loving animals. And then in New Zealand, I raised, I think for 3 different years or 4 different years, I raised lambs, and for 2 of those years I did it by myself. I used to get up in the morning before school, like really early, feed them, and then I'd go to school. My mum would do one feeding in the middle of the day for me. I'd come home, do all the night feedings. I was going to bed real late, real young too, just so I could feed these lambs, and then wake up early in the morning before school just to feed these lambs. And they would always get dropped off at my grandparents' step because we lived in a barn behind my grandparents' house. And they would always get dropped off by the neighbour who lived across the road, who was a sheep farmer. And they were all like the ones whose mums had died, or the really sick lambs that he thought were going to die, or if the mum had had multiples and like triplets, and he took the triplet off so that she could just have twins, because it's very hard for a sheep to feed triplets. He would always take the smallest lamb off the mum and take them across the road and put them in this little like box that my grandparents had put outside the house with a blanket and cover them over. I remember in the mornings for the first feeding, I would go over to my grandparents' house and look in the box and then pick the individual lamb up, walk it to the back of the barn and feed it, get it feeding, get it all cleaned up, warm, dry, all of that kind of stuff, and then go get another one. I think at one stage we had like 6 or 7 in the box, all piled onto each other, and I was like, I actually had to ask my mum to help me carry them into the barn because there was no way I was doing like 7 trips. But yeah, they're my favourite memories. Anyway, this video is probably so long. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I am uploading every day this week, I think. Hold up. Yeah, every day this week I am releasing a video. So I'll actually be seeing you tomorrow. And other than that, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. All my social media links are in the description below. Let me know your favourite memory from your childhood in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye guys. Do you want to say goodbye?